What did we all feel as kids when Aerith died? Oh, it can't be true. She'll come back, right? Recreated the feelings we had as a kid. Cloud is now us. Look, it mimics the shot of the lake, guys. This is him laying her to rest in the lake. This is high art. Everything means something. It's not just random shots. This is an Advent Children reference, guys. This is that Aerith now. This is why he sees her through Advent Children. He started seeing her here, and then he never stops seeing her till the end of Advent Children. Is it Genova's theme backwards? We need Alex Mokala on this immediately. Now, this shot, look at this exact shot. Cloud is on the right side of the frame. Same exact framing. We need to emphasize the emptiness of the frame. She's not reaching up and saying, "It's okay, Cloud," and smiling. Her eyes are closed. She's dead. Cloud is holding her hand. It feels so full circle. Everything after 25 years is coming together. Today I'm breaking down the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth ending shot per shot. I'll explain what it means and what it's going to mean for the next game. If you enjoy our time together, watch more. All right, here we go. I'm a lore master of Final Fantasy myself. Just note that I'm going to be spoiling stuff from the OG game as well that comes after this. This might be the most visually rich scenes that I've ever seen in a game, and I mean with information. As well as just beautiful visuals. It's conveying stuff that you need to pay attention to, and I think in a positive way asks so much of the audience to engage and to be re-enjoyed. And I think, you know, relating to part 3 is going to be even more meaningful when you go back and look at it. And let me explain. We have an amazing tension building sequence here, musically speaking. Beautiful vocal work by Cody here. And then, of course, we have the respite. And then we have the respite. The music cuts. Beautiful shot. Portrait of Aerith. They've chosen about an 80mm lens for this. It's glorious. And, of course, it's cut by the feather of Sephiroth. Then we mimic the original shot exactly. We pull up the camera. And there he is. And I love how you have the aesthetic of the feathers all floating down in this kind of like vortex. Right, it's almost like time has stopped. Everything has stopped. Everybody's holding their breath. This is the moment where it's like, what's going to happen? This beautiful, beautiful wide-angle shot here with the rack focus to the tip of the Masamune, emphasizing this is what's coming for her. You can already see the threat is a lot more real with these graphics. It's a lot more actualized. It's brought to life. And then we have that rainbow light that explodes on Cloud's sword. And there's been a lot of discussion of what this might mean. Essentially, to me, it means everyone, every time someone makes a serious decision that's going to change something, this rainbow light explodes. And now like this kind of life stream light has engulfed the Buster Sword. This shot right here, I think, is just one of the most beautiful shots. Glorious. Again, we've gone with a really, really wide angle lens here, probably like a somewhere around a 20mm. It's beautiful. You can see all 3 characters, all 3 players in the scene staged gloriously. Really good blocking. You can see the whispers. You can see this awesome light filtering down, this diffused light like we're at the bottom of an ocean. I think it's just such a smart aesthetic and a direction to take this scene. And then of course we have Aerith praying. It's almost like she's in a trance. It's almost like she's you know, overtaken by some power. She's also trusting in Cloud, which I find is very significant. But as we know from the story, she has, it's not that she's accepted her fate, she has chosen her fate. And that's a big, important difference here. And this is why Aerith is one of the coolest characters. She's so strong, very much like Yuna from Final Fantasy X. She's chosen her fate. But here we go. Look at this great shot. Oh my goodness. I love that we take the cutaways there. So I talk about this a lot when I talk about action filmmaking and how you need to do cutaways, reaction shots. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of action. It's really exciting. It's visually interesting. But we need reaction to the characters. It's what tethers you to the scene, the humanity of it. So great shots there. And the close-ups. And then the music starts ramping up, and it's almost like this, look at this golden light, this rainbow light is originating from the clash of their swords. It really is like 2 fates, you know, pushing against each other, trying to overcome one another and, you know, for dominance and to choose what's going to happen in history. It's such a cool concept. And of course, we have the music ramping up here powerfully. Dun, 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 dun. One Winged Angel reference there in the music. And there it is. He's fighting with Sephiroth is unconcerned. That's important. Sephiroth. Oh, great work by Cody there. Sephiroth's not concerned. He's not upset. He's not surprised. He smiles through all of this. Okay. Now, what's really significant is we saw the shot over there of Aerith. Now, this is where stuff is going to get, you know, microscopically important. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen something quite so visually important. Every single shot is conveying something that can be digested, and it can't. You can't just look away and like it's fantastically done. So, Sephiroth lands. Aerith is safe over there. The Masamune enters the ground. So we have this moment of no way. He actually defended her. He actually defended her. And then this is interesting. Now we pan down the Masamune. The white whispers cover the sword. Not the black whispers. The white ones. What does Aerith need to happen? Aerith needs to die. She has chosen her fate to die. Aerith controls the white whispers. Sephiroth controls the black whispers, as we just established in the last scene. Think about it. Okay? Think about it. There's a dark truth here that very much could be the case of what's happening. So think about this. She controls the white whispers. The white whispers move the Masamune. Look. What's happening here? We're here. There's the static. The Masamune moved. Now I want you to look at the mosaic on the ground. All right, we're analyzing this on a level that's never been done right here. I think we figured something out here, guys. The Masamune, look at the mosaic on the ground, okay? Look at it. Look at the pattern of the mosaic. Yes. Yes, it's in a different part completely. So this is very significant, okay? It's not that in a different world, something has changed. It's that the Masamune itself was moved over to strike Aerith because the white whispers. Interesting. I think it's Aerith controlling that she needs to die. She needs to die for reasons we're going to talk about in a second, for the materia to fall into the planet, or her plan to be enacted. Look at the mosaic pattern. This is now where Aerith was before. And there it is. We start to see the blood, and then our heart drops. You say, no, it can't be. And there it is. The blood upon the sword. Sephiroth smirking. And it's interesting here, his expression. I think what they're conveying here is that he said, yes, I got just what I wanted anyway. But I think the super interesting idea here is that a lot of people are thinking that it was actually Sephiroth who just like checkmate, moved back, and killed her, which is very possible. This is my second theory, which I think is really, really cool. There's two possibilities here. Either Aerith herself chose to die here, which we kind of already know because the White Whispers are trying to stop Cloud and the guys from saving Aerith. We know that already. Aerith has dominion over the White Whispers, has influence over them. She either controlled the Whispers to die to save them in the future, as we know is going to happen with Meteor and everything is really important, or Sephiroth. So the other idea that I really, really like is we see in the church scene that comes before this. So we see in this beautiful scene in the church, she says, thank you for everything. This is her saying goodbye. This is her letting Cloud go, both romantically and otherwise. She says, there's liking and then there's liking. She didn't take this opportunity to confess her love for them. She's saying, thank you for everything. I'm going to let you go now. Also, as I said before, I think this is what makes Aerith so awesome and so mature is she realizes, like, it's not really fair. It's kind of taking advantage of Cloud, and it's not very ethical. In fact, I think it's unethical for Aerith to love him in his current state. He literally thinks he's Zack, her ex-boyfriend, right? Who he got, Genova pasted information like, Aerith is really beautiful. My girlfriend Aerith, as we saw in the other flashback. It's not very ethical. He thinks he's Zack. She also liked him originally because he reminded her of Zack. Then she learned from Tifa that he literally thinks he's Zack. It's not ethical for her to be with Cloud. So it's really cool that she lets him go. And then we have this scene where beautiful, beautiful scene, like a dream, falling through the floor. Like, what a cool concept as Sephiroth walks in the door. So what do I think this is? This is Sephiroth, as he said, so this is where you've been hiding in a world that's accepted its fate. He walks in the door. This is Aerith's true self. A lot of people will say, I was just talking to Baby Seal. He refers to this as Omni Aerith, like her kind of all-powerful, life stream, powered-up version of herself. I like to call it just her true self. You know, this is her real Aerith. Like, if she was to die here, she's done. Cloud falls away, and it's like a dream. He can't react as Sephiroth walks in. All right, so what I think is happening is it's him. Sephiroth has killed in that world, in the church. Okay, so now I'm going to skip back. He just stabbed her. Do you see what I mean? He just walked into the church and stabbed her. Sephiroth is certainly in a combative sense, like a fight, stronger than Aerith, right? So look at this. Where Aerith is going to beat him is a very different sort of battlefield, which I think is so cool. But look at this. I think that's another possibility. He just killed her in the church, her true self, and then she dies. Right? But this is a beautiful shot. I love how they reveal an Iraq focus here. Cloud, because he's like, didn't I save her? Looks back and she's already falling. Even though he thought he saved her, he couldn't do it. Slipping through his fingers, that safety. But as we know, Aerith's plan is to die. That's what she's chosen to do to save them. Okay? And there it is. As she said, leave it to me. It has to be stopped by Cetra. I'm the last one. And there it is. And this is what's so genius here. It starts to dawn on you as we were playing it the first time. Oh, here we go again, you know? Here it is, the original scene. There's going to be some important changes that I'll talk to you about in a second. And Nobuo's genius and the original creators of the OG game, just echoes through time here, and it's so beautiful. But of course, what's important here is this is what Aerith wanted to happen. She wanted to drop the holy materia in. Now this is the switched holy materia. Again, the replete one that Cloud got from Church Aerith, her true self, and gave it here. Sephiroth, I think why he said, he's like, good Aerith, pray for all the help it'll do. I think what happens is, did you see him smirk when he kills her? He's like, I got it. I won. I killed the ancient. Now no one can stop me. But what he didn't expect is for the materia to fall into the lake like that. I think that's his one big mistake. And we'll talk more about that later. And what a great shot. They changed a couple of the shot selections here from the original game, I think very wisely. It like dances down the stairs perfectly in the original. Beautiful, but not very likely. I think this sells better. Now we have this very emotional scene. Now what's significant is he's beginning to grieve here, okay? He's beginning to say, oh no, she's hurt. And then watch what happens. He's trying to, you know, say she's in trouble. And that's what I love, is he starts laughing. It's almost like Cloud is under his control, all right? He's his puppet. Cloud saying the speech from the OG here. This is really significant. So he's saying it, but he is now, when Sephiroth laughed, entered into this complete state of denial. Literally cannot accept that she's gone, so he's going to pretty much live in a different reality, which is interesting because the dream worlds, again, for me, it's Final Fantasy X, guys. Don't overcomplicate it in your mind and say, oh, they created all this new stuff. They didn't. There's a dream scene in the original, Aerith in the forest, which came right before this in Rebirth as well. She says, leave Sephiroth to me. You worry about yourself, the real you that I'm trying to find. Again, this is her maturity saying, I know you're not the real you now. You need to work on yourself. I'm letting you go. I need to go do my big, you know, world-saving fate. This is why she's like such a boss, right? But what's really important here is it's the same exact thing, guys. It's just the dream scene in the forest. And Sephiroth drops down in the OG. He drops down to the forest and says, essentially, you know, you can't escape me. You know, now I found you, just like he does in the date dream in this game, right? The final date with Cloud and Aerith. It's beautifully done. So don't overcomplicate it. They've added, it's the similar story that Nojima also wrote, Final Fantasy X. Xanarkand is a dream world, a fleeting dream world that's fading away, right? And would you say that Titus is from a multiverse? Yeah, multiverse story. No, it's not. It's a dream world. It's a different mechanic. So it's something really original and cool. Don't overcomplicate it. You know, it's not a multiverse. It's not all this crazy stuff. Don't weep. He tells him not to weep. It's really important too, being his, you know, sort of puppet master. He's saying the speech. He's saying, you know, Aerith will never cry, never laugh again, which is heartbreaking. And don't worry, because we're going to see it later, surely. And I think what's significant here is you're going to ask, when are we going to see it? So there's two main possibilities here. The one possibility, and I think is the most brutal, is Sephiroth is going to, when there's a point where Cloud fully breaks to the northern crater in the OG, Sephiroth's going to use it against him. And he's going to say, you thought you saved her? I told you could save no one. When he first meets Aerith in Remake Part 1, he says, you can't save anyone, puts his hand on Aerith. Right? Talk about the foreshadowing. So he's going to say, I told you you couldn't save anyone. Why would you think that? Look, this is what happened. And then sees the brutality of what actually happened. Choice 2, I kind of like more. Choice 2 is going to be when Cloud gets his full memories back, his full self-actualization in the live stream with Tifa. Tifa, who knows how to operate the live stream now, after the scene in Chapter 9, is going to say, Cloud, it's okay. You know, the denial he's been experiencing because he doesn't want to face the guilt of failing Aerith. She's going to say, Cloud, it's okay. Let's watch it together. This is what happened. It's okay. I'm here for you now. And they're going to watch what happened, and he's going to have to deal with it. And there's going to be a beautiful scene. So I think one of those two things happens. What do you think is better? What do you think is more effective? Absolute just brutality with Sephiroth showing him, or maybe both. Maybe we'll get a little bit of Sephiroth just revealing that Aerith died, and then in the live stream, Tifa, you know, we see everything. But anyway. Beautiful scene. So he's saying the speech, and it's just so cool. But and a lot of people say, why do they do this? Listen, this is the height, almost the apex of Cloud's complete losing himself, complete puppetry, complete I'm going to the reunion, I'm obeying Jenova, I'm obeying Sephiroth. This is not the point where he just breaks free and would give a full, you know, speech and, oh no, Aerith has never gone, why would you do this, Sephiroth? It's the opposite, man. This is the point where he's almost completely under Sephiroth's control. In fact, the northern crater, which comes directly after this, he is completely given up on himself, doesn't even believe that he's a human being at all, and is just obeying Sephiroth as like a drone. Just, yes, I'll do anything. Please give me a number. Please give me something. I have no identity. It's so heartbreaking. So I think this is a really good choice. And then again, later, we're going to get the payoff. You got to remember, guys, this is a trilogy now. So it's not going to play out as one piece of media would. It's a trilogy, so they've spread it out more. And just look at how they've paid off a lot of stuff and how the scenes have been so emotional in this. Don't worry. It's going to be great. But there he is, crying.
Just like you.
Empty just like you. Throws the blood of Aerith on Cloud. Again, what does Cloud do? Cloud doesn't even look. No, there's no blood, there's no blood, there's no blood. Just closes his eyes. Really significant. Okay. Beautifully done scene. And again, he's just like, he's wrestling right here, trying to understand what's happening. Now, this is where stuff gets interesting.
Cloud.
Okay. Notice that? A salvation from the pain. He's falling apart. His eyes open.
It's okay.
A little bit of hope. What's happening? Notice he grabs her hand here. It's very important. Again, there's so much visual information being contextualized in every shot. And then he smiles. Oh, she's okay. Yeah. Now, this is a couple of things happening. On the one hand, you could say, because look, there's live stream, but this is really significant. There's a visual language happening here that they've taught us throughout the games. This is why this is so genius. Look at this visual language, guys. There's green life stream coming off Aerith. What is that? What does that happen? Every time you kill an enemy in the game, that's the visual cue that happens. They turn into green life stream stuff. She's literally dying. She's literally dying at this moment. Okay.
Aerith.
See? It's like in Advent Children. You know, this is, at the end, it's Kadash. It's rising up. Aerith. He's completely at this point, and then this is where we're going to get the dark truth here. He's in denial. Barrett sees what's happening, sees Sephiroth.
I'll kill you.
Okay, now it's important to see that Sephiroth was over there hanging out as if he's already done his work. Tifa says, Aerith, now this is where stuff gets interesting. Okay, look at this. Tifa's perspective. We switched to Tifa's perspective. An important visual cue here. An important fact. We're getting this digitized Jenova effect. The blood is there. The blood is gone. The blood is gone. Pans to Aerith is dead. Cloud is not, we're getting the dark truth here. She's not reaching up and saying, it's okay, Cloud, and smiling. Her eyes are closed. She's dead. Cloud is holding her hand up to her face, up to his face, rather. And there's blood all over it. It is much darker. And that's Aerith's blood that, you know, Cloud was holding her, and now it's on his hand. Very, very dark stuff. He's holding it up there, you know, making up this fiction that she's saying, it's okay now, Cloud. Look at her eyes. Her eyes are closed now, right? Tifa, now a lot of people, like Sleep Easy had a really good point on this, and this may be true, that Tifa might think that Cloud killed Aerith. Cloud was acting kind of crazy at the Temple of Ancients. And when I say kind of crazy, I mean absolutely out of his mind, you know, acting like a lunatic, pushing Tifa, going to kill Aerith, give me the black material. You know, he's lost his mind. So not out of the question that she would assume that. I think it'll most likely be, if that's the case, Sephiroth will try and gaslight Tifa now. Like, you're next. Look what he did to Aerith. You know, that could be really cool. But we'll see. Either way, it doesn't affect this scene, which is effectively, we know now that that's Cloud holding up Aerith's hand. Terrifying. And Tifa is just completely ruined. And then I love this part. And so it begins. Now, Sephiroth is a lot more clear on sort of talking about his plans in this. Okay?
A confluence of worlds and emotions.
Now, let's hear what he says, and I'll tell you my theory. Beautiful shot selection here. Look at the wide angle of the Masamune. Yeah, beautiful.
It engulfs fleeting moments of joy, transforming them into rage, sadness, hatred.
Of course, we get one winged angel, and you see the hatred on everybody's faces. He's harvesting their emotions, as he said.
I felt them so keenly.
Yeah. Wild. And again, now Aerith's eyes are open. Like we saw with Tifa's perspective. Aerith's done, man. She's gone, and now she's talking to Cloud again. Now, what's significant here is,
I got this.
I got this. Okay, now I want you guys to pay attention. This next shot is really important. Look, it mimics the shot of the lake, guys. This is him laying her to rest in the lake. It's the same exact motion. It's the same shot. Aerith's theme playing. The white whispers circling who represent her. This is referencing the OG.
However, we'll never see the truth with such clouded eyes.
You'll never see the truth, right? Look what happened. He's in denial. So I think what's happening here is, I talked about my theory on Baby Seal's show. So to put it very quickly, I think Sephiroth's goal, he says when he's young in Ever Crisis, that he wants to save his friends. He wants to save everyone. And he comes to realize later in life that you can't save everyone. And that's when he starts to, I think, become jaded and depressed and lonely. His friends kind of betray him, you know, in a way. Genesis does. Angeal dies. Obviously something with Ever Crisis is going to happen too with his sort of friendships that he has. He realizes he can't save everyone. So I think in a sad, tragic, childlike way, Sephiroth wants to save everyone by ruling over eternity, by merging all of the dream worlds into one static life stream. No more flow of time. He wants to rule over eternity. I'll save everyone. I'll save the planet from dying. Everything will be perfect, and I'll rule over. It's a twisted and tragic view on what he wants to do. And I think that in part 3, it'd be really cool if we have Sephiroth have his own little live stream sequence like Cloud does. And maybe we have Genesis scenes. We have Angeal's and him looking back on his life of loneliness, betrayal. It could be really interesting to see him sort of discard his humanity in an almost benevolent way from his villain perspective. You know, he's a hero from his perspective, right? To save the planet, to rule over it, to recomplete his mother, to rule over it with her. So I think it could be really cool. Anyways, let's look at the shots.
You're just a puppet.
And there's the iconic line, you're just a puppet. Beautifully done. Now this part, I think, is genius. The music, and look at this shot. As we circle around Sephiroth, the music ramps up. Genova's theme descending on the piano, but this is where it broke my heart. Genova's theme, and then right there, her music starts playing, man, and I couldn't help but become so emotional. This is where it dawned on me. The genius of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is that what did we all feel as kids when Aerith died? Oh, it can't be true.
Tears are empty.
It can't be true. She'll come back, right? She's on our party. They'll heal her. They use the Phoenix down. And then you have to accept it later. She's not coming back. And that's what they played on here. Recreated the feelings we had as a kid. Cloud is now us, feeling what we felt. And I think it's really smart, again, to do this, considering what he goes through in the story. You know, he's a puppet of Sephiroth. He shouldn't have full autonomy at this point.
Okay.
And to know that this is fully happening in his head right now. You could argue it is Livestream Aerith, you know, comforting him. But either way, this is not reality. He's holding her hand to his face. Incredibly tragic.
Aerith.
Incredibly tragic. And again, this is the point where... See? That's a proper reaction. I'll kill you. He sees what happened. He understands. And then you realize the dark truth. Cloud is holding Aerith's hand to his face. It's just... the perspective switch. Do you see what I mean? So, to see something that asks so much of the audience in a very positive way, to be so engaged, like, this is high art, guys. This is high art. Like, everything means something. It's not just random shots put together. Incredible work. Every single shot was considered deeply before it was put to the page, so to speak, put to the screen. So anyways, we'll skip a bit now that we've seen that. It's just too good. It's just too good. So I want to move on here. Let's go to, there's a scene with Zack, which I love. I love this part. So we're going to talk about it quickly, and then we'll get to the ending, the proper ending. This scene right here gave me chills. This music by Masashi Hamauzu right here. It sounds like this is it. Right here. This is the seminal moment right here. Right? Absolutely amazing. Like, absolutely beautiful. You have the black whispers circling, which of course mimics Advent Children. Super important. And more on Advent Children in a second. More on Advent Children in a second. So beautifully done. But I love this song. And like, it's just iconic moment after iconic moment. The Sephiroth stance. And to see this shot reference the original Final Fantasy ending right here with Cloud and Zack. It feels so full circle. Everything after 25 years is coming together. It's beautifully done. And that's what's so cool. Like, it's adding to the original. Like I said on Baby Seal's podcast, it's more original than the original game. You know what I mean? It's more FF7 than FF7. Do you see what I mean? And that's why I'm encouraging you guys not to look at everything as it's, if you look at it as only additive to OG and this meta thing, it's all just additive to OG. That's where you fail. You have to look at it as its own thing. And say, like, you know, for example, even if it's going to play into Advent Children in certain ways, it doesn't make it a sequel necessarily. It makes it, well, they're just making everything make more sense and making it a complete piece all the way through Advent Children and the compilation. We have Dirge Cerberus characters. We have Crisis Core characters. Do you see what I mean? So yeah, think of it as its own thing and think about what they're doing. If you're on that sort of wavelength, then everything makes perfect sense. And it's not that complicated. I'm telling you guys, it's really not. Now this part
Alone at last.
is where stuff gets crazy.
Shall we?
This is where stuff gets wacky, right here. Bizarro Sephiroth. I saw this and my jaw dropped on the ground. Unbelievable. It's so crazy. It's so iconic. I mean, look at this imagery. And what's so cool about it is, you know, back on the PS1, we didn't have the technology to like properly bring to life Tetsuya Nomura's drawings. But now that we have that, in the same way you do on like PS2, it's just so huge. You know what I mean? Like the sort of scale and everything and the detail that they can achieve. It's also terrifying. There's actually one change that I would have made here, and I would have made the music just like completely distorted and just like messed up, almost like Dune. You guys know Dune by Hans Zimmer? Oh my goodness. Hans Zimmer's music is ridiculous, and he makes this like just disturbing, like, you know, music. It's so unnerving and kind of like this like deep bass and everything. Oh, it would have been cool. I would have done that just to emphasize sort of like the wrongness of this kind of like resurrected being. But what's super significant here is, guys, this is not only just like, wow, it's Bizarro Sephiroth reference. You have to ask yourself, why is Bizarro Sephiroth here? And when you think about OG, this hit me recently. Guys, this is Sephiroth's true body. This is his true form, guys. In the Northern Crater, he's in the crystal. He doesn't have any legs. There's just a torso formed at the Northern Crater. This is Sephiroth's true body. Look, this is him resurrected. This is him bringing himself back to life, reconstructing his body in the live stream after Cloud killed him. Like, terrifying. Terrifying. And of course, don't worry, you'll be hearing Birth of the God in part 3. That iconic sound. So I'm going to skip a little bit of the boss fights here. I love this one section though. This part right here, man, it's so Final Fantasy X to see. Like, it reminds me of Unalesca. When she's the big like Medusa head in FF10 in that like vortex of space, and you have to run up and fight her head. Like, it's just so classic Final Fantasy. Again, also to see Tetsuya Nomura drawings here fighting these like super crazy final form end bosses and space and time and everything. It looks like FF5, FF6, FF6. It's just, it's so beautiful. Also Ultimishia's final form. The music is just glorious. We're going to skip a little bit more here. This part is really significant. So what happens here, guys? Really, really important. Sephiroth, after he's been defeated by the party and everything, and by the way, Sephiroth is in every single dream world at once. That's how powerful he is. Like, you'll see in a previous scene, Zack and Cloud cut off Sephiroth's horn, and then Barret sees it fly off. They're all fighting him at the same time. It's the only reason Sephiroth loses. He's incredibly strong, but he has to not only fight 2 soldier first class level beings, Cloud and Zack, while fighting Aerith, who's now in the livestream using the White Whispers to attack him. Did you see that? During the Bizarro Sephiroth fight, White Whispers, controlled by Aerith, start holding him back and attacking him. So he's fighting everybody at once in the same moment, and the entire party, while manipulating Rufus at the same time, which I think is so cool. But this is important. So Sephiroth sends the Black Whispers over. Sends the Black Whispers over, and then the White Ones combat them, controlled by Aerith. Again, there's that rainbow orange light, and Aerith walks out. This is really important to say. She's now in the live stream, guys. She's done. She's Dunions. And there it is, focusing on the materia, which is implying that she has the holy materia in the live stream. It fell into the lake. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's in there with her. So I think it's a kind of cool reference. And just like the end of Remake kind of purifies the whole area, and it becomes white instead of the Edge of Creation, which is really significant. And again, if we look at the ground now, guys, it is liquid. It looks like the lake, right? It looks like the lake where he lowers her into, which is almost happening at this moment, a little bit after this. Such a cool concept, man. They are cooking. That's what I mean. Like, everything means something. Now, this is what's significant here. Sephiroth says something really cool here, which I love. I underestimated you to Aerith, right? How amazing is that? And to me, that's almost just like payoff over the years of, like, we always, like I said, in the OG, you don't really see Aerith and Sephiroth tee off against each other. There's a couple words exchanged, kind of. Doesn't ever really even say her name. I think he just says like the ancient or something. It's very, very sparse. Just played the original. And in this, it's like you really are feeling that sort of like chessboard with these two at the helm, especially now that she's kind of like powered up. It's very Obi-Wan Kenobi, guys, from Star Wars. Aerith literally chose to be like, you know, if you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. That's literally what happened here. She became, you know, fully aware of her ancient powers, knows how to use them, went into the live stream, and can now pilot it. Check this out, though. This is a really cool concept. I love. You guys know I love the Masamune. You know, my Masamune theory is very interesting and kind of is happening in Ever Crisis. So I'm very excited. But look at this. The Masamune absorbs whispers. This whisper blade. Like, what a cool concept is that? Literally fate on the blade. We've also seen him cut through the whispers to create a portal. Like, he's so powerful. It's ridiculous. I love it. And then, of course, we get the epic fight. I'm going to skip the gameplay. We're going to come to the end of the game here and check it out. Sephiroth just left. Of course, this part, the White Whispers are saying, you got to go. You can't stay together. This is not how life works. You got to pass on. And I love this shot, guys. What does it remind you of? This is an Advent Children reference, guys. Every time that Cloud sees Aerith, especially in the woods, the Forgotten Forest, in Advent Children, I need you guys to understand, this is that Aerith now. This is why he sees her through Advent Children. He started seeing her here. And that's what I mean. It just completes and connects everything in a very beautiful way. And look, that's her fading away into the live stream. It's Advent Children Aerith. That's the first time he sees her like that. And then he never stops seeing her till the end of Advent Children. Right? How sad is that? I mean, no wonder he feels guilty. Dang. So, there it is. Now he's all alone. What a beautiful shot, man. Absolutely glorious. Okay, now moving on. Zack in the church. Love this part. Love this part. What's going through his head? Well, you know, he thinks he's gonna die once again. Will Zack ever get a break in his entire life? It does not appear to be the case. This poor guy is just suffering non-stop. And now, oh, it's like meteors coming down to destroy me once and for all. Like,
So this is it, huh?
he just can't get a break. But it's
Time to say goodbye.
the White Whispers. What a great shot, man. That wide angle. Now, what just happened? So, he got, just like Cloud did in the church, there's that golden light. It's Aerith saving him. Price of Freedom plays. Oh, so beautiful, man. I really like what they're doing with Zack and his character. He seems quite deepened to me personally, and I can't wait to see what they continue to do with it. Oh, Tifa runs up, and this is super important. Tifa is trying to confirm if her friend is alive. So she walks up. It's gonna gingerly turn her over, and then what do we see? Tifa has confirmed, and she is just completely heartbroken. Cloud is walking up, just almost like a strange expression here. This is really important. And there it is. That is what Tifa saw when she turned it over. That's her reaction. It just completely crumples. Her worst fear has been confirmed. Right? And now look, this kind of White Whispers are trailing this rainbow light. Cloud passes into this sort of barrier of White Whispers, and now he sees Aerith, but the party is gone. This isn't very significant again. This is why I love this. Like, at this point, every shot means something. You got to be, you know, highly engaged in a meaningful way. Yeah, there's that live stream light again, the kind of green orb. Now, this is one of the most beautiful sections in the game. Look at the bokeh that they've achieved with the shallow depth of field. It's probably, honestly, I would say like a 1.4 f-stop aperture to achieve this glorious look. And look at the shot. Beautiful, beautiful shot of Cloud. Perfect composition using the rule of thirds. The bokeh is popping. Beautiful, beautiful complementary colors with this subtle orange and then the blue. Oh, complementary color harmonies happening.
Wake up.
It's absolutely beautiful, man. It really is like peak Square Enix visuals. And he demands that she wakes up. And then she does. And I'm telling you, this is him rationalizing how she's standing there now, Advent Children Aerith. This is him rationalizing how that's even possible. Right? So then later she can be with him. Like I said, throughout, even all the way up to the end of Advent Children. Now, this is really important. This is, of course, the lake scene. But I want you guys to note that the lighting is very different. This is the lake scene at night, which implies that they have been, again, according to Barrett's line, sitting there for a very long time. Okay? Sitting there for a very long time. Which means, you know, he put her in when it was bright out, like it is in the classic scene. You can see everybody just kind of morose and mourning their friend in silence. And what else are you going to say? It's so horrific. Nanaki beside himself, and this, of course, was the stab in the gut. Barrett puts his sunglasses back on, which is just... Now, again, this is visual language without needing to say anything. You know, that's when he has to hide his feelings because it hurts too much. All right, and how beautiful is that? Like, you know, in the original game, we're like, why does he have sunglasses? Oh, he's trying to make him look cooler, and then it, like, breaks your heart when you realize why they gave them to him. Now, here we go. Very significant. Cloud's expression and Tifa's. Look at the difference here. Tifa is just like mourning. There's no other way to put it. Cloud looks like he's just enjoying. Cloud looks like he's just enjoying a sunny day on the beach, man. Just what a beautiful view. Like he is completely disassociated from reality right now, not thinking about it. Like everybody, look at the body language. Everybody's just down, and Cloud's like, man, I love this place. What are we doing here again? Like it's crazy.
Stay here forever. We'd best get moving.
And again, that implies they've been there for like an hour, just sitting there in silence, like for Aerith, you know, thinking about it. Like,
Yep. Sounds good.
listen to the way he says that. Sounds great. Let's go now. Beautiful day, isn't it? Like, he ain't on the periodic table. You know, he's not on the elemental chart. He's gone. Tifa again, and then this is what's significant here. He's remembering her actual death. Look. Remembering she died, and then what does his eyes do? But she's right there, right? You know, she's all right. She's right there. She didn't die. She didn't die. She's right over there. Looks over. Everything's okay. There she is. There she is. Yeah, we're good. We're good. She didn't die. She's okay. Yep. She woke back up. I said wake up. She woke up. Now, something very interesting about this music here. Not only does she look strange, just like kind of this empty smile, but listen to the music.
I'll
The
see
opening.
you off.
Something I want, man, I don't have to ask Alex Mokala or try and figure it out myself or have Aaliyah do it on the piano because she's amazing. This. Is it Genova's theme backwards? Is it backwards? Hard to tell without seeing the notes, but we need Alex Mokala on this immediately. But yeah, what does it say? Either way, it's a something's off with this in the music. Now, you can take it as one of two ways. A lot of people are saying, oh my God, it's Genova. Literally, Genova is taking control of Aerith, who Genova took the faces of our brothers and sisters the moment they died and deceived us, turned us against ourselves. Could very well be what's happening. I think it's both more sinister and less, and that it is his denial. It could be both, though. It could be, you know, Sephiroth feeding into his denial for reasons. But either way, the main point is something's wrong. It's not like this happy music. Oh, Aerith lived. Yeah, Aerith's theme. No. Something's wrong. Oh, poor Kate Sith. It's too sad how he walks away right here. Absolutely heartbreaking. No, not that. Saddest shot in the game. And then this is, of course, the kind of like, for me, this was the hard confirmation of what's going on here. Again, Tifa's perspective is used here as a sort of anchor to know what's going on. This is very important. Ready?
Tifa. Come on.
Now, this shot. Look at this exact shot. Cloud is on the right side of the frame, out of focus. Aerith is in focus here. Aerith looks back. Ah, Tifa, my friend. Now, look at this framing. Tifa's going to stand, look back. Beautiful background, too. Look at this shot. She looks at Cloud. A little bit of surprise on her face. This is meant to build anticipation by us. Very smart. We hold. We go to the close-up. They hold the shot just long enough. Perfectly done. Same exact framing. Okay, and why did they do this framing? They're meaning to emphasize the emptiness of the frame. To say Aerith was there. A lot of people didn't catch this at all. Aerith was there, and now Cloud was out of focus. Now he's in focus. There's nothing else to focus on. He's alone. Okay? And look, he looks happy. And did you see that? Did you see what he just did? He just looked at Aerith right there. He was like, and then walked away. Tifa knows that Cloud is completely out of his mind right now. Did you see that? He just like, yeah. And then she's like, what? Oh no. And she knows from the way he's reacting that he doesn't know what's going on here. And then on the wide, look who's not there. There's Tifa. There's Cloud. Unless you're going to tell me that, you know, Aerith sprinted out of there for some reason. Like, no. That is horrifying and heartbreaking. But again, if someone had played this the first time, knew absolutely nothing about the story and everything, these are super important cues for them to be like, wait a second now. And that's what's so cool about this. Again, you have to look at it as a new project, guys. They're not just making it so you have to play the OG. Therefore, everything's just additive. Everything's meta. Nothing matters. Like, it's all just like extra scene. No, like, that's not a good project. So this is great because they're treating it with that sort of respect to make it a complete project, in my opinion. And now we have the Rufus scene, which I thought it was beautiful, man. This reveal right here, I'm going to skip just a little bit. This reveal of Sephiroth. I thought it was terrifying. And I thought it was super smart because with Glenn, we don't know enough about him. He's a new character from Ever Crisis, and from this, we don't know enough about him to be like, oh yeah, whatever. That's not Glenn. I know Glenn. We've never heard him voiced, as far as I know.
This war's nothing but a
Oh, I guess we did hear him voiced briefly. Yeah, check this out.
distract me from reality.
Horrifying. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why is Sephiroth doing this again? Sephiroth literally in 10 places at once. He's the best villain ever, man. What is going on? Our promised land will become reality. He's using Rufus. He's using Rufus to get him to the promised land. It's amazing. Amazing editing here. You know, combining the two faces. Again, that Genova visual language. It's an illusion that Rufus is being fooled by Genova. That's what I love about this. The twist, man.
I want the real thing, not some imitation.
Great shot down the sight there. It's just awesome. I love this. A lot of people like it's just so not as important to the Aerith stuff that a lot of people were just like, get to the next scene, I don't care about this, but I love this scene. It's fantastic.
But an imitation's all you deserve.
Like the writing's great, the dialogue, it's all you deserve. And this is just brutal what happens here. Like again, the subtle reactions, like before he pulls the trigger, kind of like the anger gets the better of him. And then you see it's just, you know, soldier number whatever. It's actually not Glenn's body, which is really significant. Pure illusion.
Just like old times.
Horrifying. And then he just unloads a clip, like amazing. I love the scene. A lot of people, again, it wasn't their favorite, but I loved it. Then we see the weapons waking up. We see Cloud, or I'm sorry, we see Zack now in the church. I think that he indeed is in our world now.
It all felt way
Right?
too real.
He's in the world, not the dream world that he was stuck in. So that's very possible. And you have to ask yourself why. Well, Aerith whisked him away at the end and put him there.
Just as worlds unite,
Yep.
so too do they part.
That's what's important. Sephiroth put Zack in like a doomed floating church that he's just gonna die in. Aerith put him somewhere else. So you
But
could
who's to
say that
they can't unite again.
you could say that she put him in the dream world again to keep him safe, but that's not true. Sephiroth knows about that dream world now. So I think she put Zack in the real life dream world, you know? As we know, all the worlds of dreams that are gonna eventually become one again in the live stream, it's gonna happen with the reunion permanently. But this is that's what I think happened. Yeah. And therefore I think Zack might have a hand in the reunion. Could be really cool. I personally hope that Zack doesn't show up and help out into the end, but we'll see what happens. Now this is the most important scene. Let's go to the ending. This is the guys going to the Northern Crater, which is important for this scene. Main theme of Final Fantasy playing, come on. I'm so glad it did this, because it's actually not in the 7 trilogy yet. So I like that they had Sid hum it. Also, it's a reference to the original. At the credits, plays the original, the main theme. FF. Cloud, again, completely out of his mind. He's just staring at the material. The empty material. We'll talk about it in a second. I do have some theories about it. But I love this. And this is, again, if someone didn't know the story, really, really amazing visual storytelling right here. And we'll talk about it.
Nice catch.
Let's take a look.
So, what Aerith actually do anyway?
Again, denoting that there's no way he would say that in front of her. Makes no sense. Also really rude. And then, watch her. Watch Aerith. No reaction. She didn't even know what they were reacting to, and her dress didn't, like, you know, puff up or anything.
We are cleared for takeoff.
She ain't there, guys. She is not there. She is, you know, observing what's happening, and Cloud is able to see it.
It's not fair.
Meanwhile, everybody else is mourning the loss of Aerith, and she's just walking around, you know, comforting them. Now, what's cool here is Nanaki, of course, has a deep connection to the planet. He can feel her presence.
Aerith?
See? Tifa goes like, what? And then just goes back to crying. It's so heartbreaking what's happening to Tifa here, because she's like completely alone. Cloud is usually her person that she can confide in. They have so many great conversations in private where they open up to each other. They're the only people that those two do that to so much, you know, so vulnerably. And now she can't do it anymore. Now this shot's significant. Cloud again is just like, Aerith hanging out with the guy. He's completely lost his mind. he looks at this empty materia. And what's really cool here is we see, of course, on the sky, it's just a normal thing. The sky is above and then the sky is below, denoting two worlds, right? It's a metaphor to say that he's now living in two worlds. And in the middle, look how clever this is. In the middle, we have the horizon, which is like bisected here, but it looks like the upcoming shot of the tear in the sky. So it's just like amazing visual storytelling. And of course, two clouds, right? In the original, there's always this idea of two clouds. They'll literally be him split off, and there's like a transparent cloud. No, stop, don't do it. Like his young self and everything. It's really cool. So they're really playing up that metaphor to emphasize it when we get to the live stream scene. Very well done. And he pockets it like it's a new Pokemon card. Just super excited. But he finds in his pocket
The hell?
the replete black materia. Again, there it is. He's being puppeteered. That means literally Genova power is being puppeteered in this moment.
The reunion.
And now he's just full. Like he literally gets up right here to go to the reunion. He's like, we're heading north. Yeah. Like it's awesome. Just like the guys. Now this is an interesting thing for me because it's something I've been asking for and demanding since part 1. Show somebody use materia. It's like the coolest magic system. It's one of the coolest world building ideas in anything. Show somebody put materia in a weapon in the hole, man. Like show it in a cutscene. Are you insane? It's so cool. Nope, we never see it. Show it on the menu when you choose materia, man. Can you imagine the dopamine explosion? How it resizes and stuff. But ready? We kind of get it, but not really, because just to hide it.
Yeah, one sec.
It's going to put the black materia in the Buster Sword and kind of control it. So he's going to use that for later. And also, most importantly, hide it, because he's not meant to have that at this time, which I think is really cool. So then he's going to make his way over there. The party, again, in his mind, time to go. His reunion time. Like he's not operating as himself right now. Everybody's boarding the plane.
Promise not to look up.
And this part, I think, is the height of his just insanity. There it is. So what's really significant, people have pointed this out, is that this mimics perfectly the scene in the live stream. Actually, let me pull it up. So you can see here, guys, look at the tear in the sky in the live stream shot of the OG, right? How cool is that? So yeah, that's what they're doing. They are mimicking that and preparing for that. But also, like I said, it's more FF7 than the original FF7, right? They're adding and expanding on the world building, making the magic system make sense, making it all clear instead of just like humongous jumps in logic and everything need to be applied to the original to understand it. Just played it with Leah for her first time after she played Rebirth, and there was times where even trying to explain to her like what happened, why is Sephiroth and the crystal up there? It's not voiced in the game at all. You have to really like put your thinking cap on, go to deep lore discussions, look up Ultimania stuff. It's not explained. So there's a lot of big holes in plot in the original that are cool and make sense, but you need to really like kind of refer to other materials to fully grasp them. And in this, I think they're going to make it a lot more clear and connected visually so that you'll be able to just play the content and put it together as opposed to like, gotta go to the Ultimanias, you know? So I think it's really clever.
Don't look up.
Look at this. Don't look up.
Now I gotta look.
They don't see it, guys. Cloud is now living
But don't let it get to you.
in the space
Don't
between
let
two
what
worlds.
get to me.
He's living in two worlds at the same
It's
time.
not real. Just an illusion.
Again, Tifa just knows that he's completely lost his mind. Like, it's
Now
sad.
let's go get Sephiroth. He's hiding up north.
It's terrifying. Can you imagine how scared they are to hear that?
Trust me.
Great shot.
He is. Soldier's intuition.
Oh, yeah? Better hope you're right.
That was significant too, because you saw Yuffie, her true feelings are like crying. She's mourning right now, but right there, she's just kind of trying to act cool. Nanaki is silent. They look at each other like, oh no. Tifa's just completely despondent.
All right, fine. We trust you.
Again, the music here, like what?
Just remember,
mysterious.
we got everything riding on this.
Yeah.
And that's a load you'd best be ready to carry.
This is cool too, because it's like, you might ask yourself, why don't they just leave Cloud behind if they know he's so crazy? Well, he's the strongest person by far on the party, right? He's like first soldier capabilities, essentially first soldier power scaling. So they can't really leave him behind. He's also like the kind of the Sephiroth expert, but he's been slipping more and more. So they're probably really torn on what to do. Great shot of Barret and Cloud there.
No heavy loads. We're close to capacity.
No heavy load. One of the best.
Don't worry about
Gotta
me.
love Sid.
I can handle it.
Oh, what's also important here is the setting. So look where they are. They're not anywhere near the Forgotten City. I think what happened is they went south, got the plane. I think we're near Rocket Town. I think it'd be really cool if we're near Rocket Town and we are going to kind of refuel, do some stuff there, stop in, meet Shara at the opening of the game. It seems like kind of a weird opening to have the Rocket Town there, but I don't know where else they put it, quite honestly. So it could be like an epic opening. And then we do that. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm curious what you guys think about Rocket Town. They could also put it like all later, which I think is probably what they do. They put the entire Rocket Town sequence much later, and just have it one big segment with Shara and then go up into space. We'll see what they do. But I think it's where they are. They ain't up north. Again, this is Tifa just showing she's completely terrified and despondent and mourning, and it's heartbreaking. But it's cool that Tifa is kind of our emotional tether through all of this, because we pretty much know that Cloud is unreliable at this point as far as what's really happening. He's completely lost it. So to use Tifa as a basis, it's like, okay, stuff is very wrong. And notice, of course, everybody else is gone. Then they have their conversation.
You gonna be okay getting back?
Beautiful shots here. Ugh.
And if I said I wasn't?
Now, if you didn't catch that, why does Cloud laugh there? It's a reference to in Remake where she says, like, you go to the playground and say, oh, what if I say I can't get back? And he's like, it's implying that, oh, you can be my bodyguard again. So it's kind of a cool inside joke, you know?
Don't worry. It's like a second home.
So what's it? It's like a second home. You can take it two ways, either the live stream or you can take it as, something else. You can take it as he thinks in his insanity, like, I think probably the dream world is another interpretation for that, which is cool. But for him, who knows what he's thinking, man? Probably the church, like, again, referencing that old line, however he's rationalizing this. But again, this is Advent Children. Beautiful shot.
Then I'll send up smoke.
Yeah, this is Advent Children Aerith that he's talking to right now.
Thanks. I'll keep an eye out.
So now when we go and watch that, it's going to just be so much more meaningful. And this scene to me is very Final Fantasy VIII.
I'll put
Like-
everything I've got into my prayers.
Beautiful music.
I'll stop the meteor.
I love the flowers too.
I'll leave the rest to you. Good luck.
Aerith,
So awesome,
I
man.
will stop Sephiroth.
Beautiful shot there with the 50 millimeter. Ah. I love this shot of Cloud with the 50, yeah.
You promise?
I just wish the whole game was pre-rendered, man. It's so beautiful. The film cinematic tools that they have, man. Look at the clothing, look at the bokeh, look at the shallow depth of field. It's just beautiful. Why can't every cutscene be like this? Come on, guys. It's 2024. And there's promises to keep another Nobuo Uematsu quintessential Nobuo piece. Did we ever think we'd get another one? And we have this Final Fantasy VIII Renoa-esque song at the beautiful flowery fields. And
Goodbye.
see that goodbye was not the kind of typical bubbly Aerith tone of like, yeah, I'll do my thing. That was her, for herself saying goodbye, like, to her living friends. A very, very heartbreaking. But I love it. Beautifully done. No promises await at Journey's End. Cloud said, I promise to stop Sephiroth. No promises. All right. So I think this is really significant. Also, no promises that, she's going to come back and see him again. There's a lot of interpretations. I'd like to hear what you guys think about it. But, oh, man, it's just so beautiful. all these last shots. I can't emphasize enough how there's so much visual language in every single part of it, as opposed to just like, looks cool, action was great and everything. Man, I would much rather have, and a lot of people are like, I just wanted the original Aerith scene. Don't worry, you'll see it later. But I would much rather have this where it asks so much of the audience. It treats us very smart. It treats us with intelligence. It's training you to engage visually on a rewatch. Man, I've seen this over 10 times now because I watch all my friends beating it. And it's like, I'm picking up new stuff every single time. It's incredible. It's incredible. Like I said, the visual language. Okay, white whispers is Aerith, black whispers is Sephiroth. The rainbow light is this. The green life stream bubbles when people die. Like there's so much that they taught us from like the original to Advent Children, Crisis Core, and on, and it's just layering into this beautiful thing. But like I said, guys, it's so much like OG. My theories have drastically changed from like, you know, a lot of crazy conjecture. Though I always said it was going to be like OG to, you know, at the heart of it. But it's changed from that to kind of like, okay, so how are they going to depict the rest of the scenes and what's going to be like the cool finale at the end? Because it's just so faithful. Like I said, it's almost more faithful than the original FF7, if that makes sense. It all makes sense now. But anyways, I absolutely love it. Thank you everybody for watching. Let me know what you think of my analysis, and I can't wait to chat more. If you want to see my full ending reaction when I first played it, you can watch that here in the channel, as well as my talk with Aaliyah, full theory talk with Baby Seal, and more to come. So thank you so much, guys, and I'll talk to you very soon. Make sure to sub if you're new, and of course hop in our Discord. Goodbye.